What to Play presents the top new upcoming open world games coming this 2016 to 2017. Air. It looks good, not stunning, but interesting. It's these types of games that push creative standards in the gaming industry. You play as Auk, a pilgrim girl that can transform into a bird. Why bird? How else can you explore a big open world if not as a majestic flying creature? The cel-shaded saturated art style looks quite pleasant to the eyes. I mean, take a look at the game. It feels relaxing. The last part though, I might take it back because of all the giant defaced colossi. Hoping this will be another journey type game that'll make it big. Fingers crossed. Yakuza 6, a beat-em-up open-world game from the underrated series. The game looks good at best. However, its primary selling point is not the visual presentation. It's the story and the arcade, over-the-top combat. The finishers look hilariously good and always fun to look at. This is the 7th main entry in the Yakuza series, and Kazama Kiryu will be returning as the main protagonist. Details about the playable characters and locations are yet to be revealed. However, most Yakuza games reach Western shores a year or so after the Japanese release, so get ready for the Japanese version spoilers all over the net when the time comes. Developed by Banjo-Kazooie and Battletoads creator Rare Studios, Sea of Thieves is one of the highly anticipated exclusives of the Xbox One console this year. The game's main selling point is its so-called user-generated content, in which players can craft their own stories by using in-game tools. Details about how this works? It's spotty, but judging from the trailer, I think it's safe to say that a map or a world is created by a single player, assigning event flags and inviting other players inside it. The graphics look vibrant, cartoony, and fairy tale-like. A big leap from the previous title, Homefront: The Revolution adapts an open-world gameplay instead of a linear one. Scavenging and looting are still the best ways to get better arsenal. Target less heavy armored caps and start your way there, improving your weapon and gear along the way. Unlike the first Homefront, which featured competitive multiplayer mode, the Revolution opted to go with a 4-player co-op mode instead, called Resistance Mode. And as a bonus, the game designer said they'll be giving a year's worth of DLC for free. Ain't that sweet? Star Citizen. After raising a record-breaking milestone in crowdfunding, more than $100 million, the pressure is on to deliver. Dubbed as the space game that'll end all space games, Star Citizen is a space simulation MMO set in a persistent universe. It started with a basic feature set: interact, mine, explore, trade, shoot enemies down while outside or inside your ship, and more. And with each milestone during the crowdfunding, things got more complex, and the game moved to a grander scale. Let's just hope that the game is eventually released to the public and all our expectations are met. No Man's Sky, a first-person survival game that became the it of gaming. Thanks to its ambitious open multi-world exploration, everything in its infinitely massive universe is procedurally generated. The planets, their landscapes, and their inhabitants. All this powered by a super formula that generates shapes found in nature through adjustable parameters. This unexpected dark horse by Hello Games has been the talk of the internet. It blew up on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and online publications. Sean Murray, the studio's director, thought it was weird and awesome. Here's to hoping that No Man's Sky lives up to all this hype. Mirror's Edge Catalyst, a reboot of the first game, where players traverse futuristic cities and fight or flee from enemies using parkour skills. The use of levels and linear gameplay, as with the previous game, has been replaced with an open-world, free-roaming environment, giving us more creative ways to approach an objective. The game looks crisp, hectic, and can be disorienting to some. Combat has been greatly improved as well. The use of guns is completely removed, focusing more on the running, parkour, and melee attacks. The introduction of the gameplay element called Focus, where the enemies can't hit you, looks very promising. Dishonored 2 takes place 15 years after the first game. Kill the corrupt as the great Corvo Attano, or as the exiled Empress Emily Caldwin. Regain your power and restore peace to the Empire. Details are sketchy as to dynamics of the two characters. Will you pick one for each mission or the entire game? Or are you able to switch between them at will? Either way, both have different styles of gameplay. Emily has her own specific skills such as teleportation and tentacle arms, while Corvo will feel more familiar with most of his skills from Dishonored intact. Assassination with magic at its finest. Kingdom Come: Deliverance. Probably the most open of open world games to come this year. Confused? What I meant is that you can do various tasks ranging from lowly unimportant quests to world-changing events. This alongside actions inside the game like wielding an axe, riding a horse, eating and sleeping. Then there's this second open world aspect of it. Every event inside the game doesn't revolve around you. For example, delay an errand quest and the employee hires another person to do the job. Get distracted with crafting items and your mission plays out on its own. It's a more complex, free-flowing world. Mafia 3, a game that can be summed up in 2 words: murder and revenge. Play as Lincoln Clay, a Vietnam veteran, as he makes his way from the ground up by making his own criminal organization, all for one purpose: retribution. It looks very much like the Grand Theft Auto games, but I'm guessing with a darker undertone and a more mature feel to it. Also, the developers are emphasizing more on the living world side of things, where you, as a player, can interact with almost anyone and anything, get reactions, and feel as if everyone is alive. Figuratively speaking, of course. Let's just make this clear first. This is Mass Effect Andromeda, not Mass Effect 4. Mass Effect 3 was the trilogy's finale. Andromeda focuses on a brand new story set in the same universe. If I were to say something, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. I mean, we have a brand new story, maybe more new weapons, new races, new ships. I'm quite confident that BioWare won't mess this up since it's one of their bigger flagship titles. Plus, multiplayer has been confirmed for inclusion, and there's the return of the 6-wheeled vehicle Mako. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. This is the first open-world game of the series, and also the first to feature side missions, all in a non-scripted, non-linear gameplay. You can do anything you want in this massive open world, which is the biggest one yet that Ubisoft has made. Play with other players in a 4-man team, or simply do it all yourself and go with AI-controlled units. You can even choose how to approach each mission: stealth, long range, or guns a-blazing, parachuting your way to a mission site or driving your way to it. All up to you. Scalebound, another epic-looking game by AAA dev, Platinum Games. This Xbox One exclusive is one of the very reasons RPG lovers like me bought an Xbox One console. Shouting dragon spells or calling them down for help is sick and all, but riding one and fighting on or alongside it is pure badass. Melee and ranged weapons like bow and arrow or explosive guns are your primary means of combat. These weapons have a durability system and they eventually lose usefulness over time. Drew, the main character, can also transform into a half-dragon hybrid, boosting his stats for a limited time. How cool is that? Dead Island 2, from Techland to Jaeger Development to Sumo Digital, delays after delays after delays, and now hopefully, finally, the game will come out this 2016. It promises a new open world taking place in LA, San Francisco, and a yet unknown third location. Dead Island 2 will feature 4 playable characters, tons of new weapons and zombie types. Its combat will feature some new mechanics. I don't know what, but I hope it doesn't destroy the series' foundation. The game is said to be a bit of a new experience compared to its predecessors. Oh, and we'll still be getting that 8-player co-op. So far, all seems good. Disney and Square Enix fantasy crossover is back with Kingdom Hearts 3. With the same formula that made the Kingdom Hearts series very popular, Square Enix adapts and further improves the action hack-and-slash gameplay to the point of making it spectacularly vibrant, fluid, and frantic. New enemies, both big and small, traversal methods like wall running and jumping, summons, keyblade transformations, team-up attacks, and the new attraction flow skill. Theme park-inspired rides like the Mad Tea Party, Big Magic Mountain, or the Pirate Ship are what most gamers are excited about. Ready your keyblades, it's hacking time. Crackdown 3 is looking to be one hell of a game. It's bound to revolutionize the total destruction label in gaming. It lets multiple players into a sandbox city open for destruction, a city where everything, I mean everything, from lampposts to cars to whole buildings can be blasted or crumbled into pieces. There's campaign mode, but multiplayer is where it's at. The game's use of Microsoft Azure servers takes computational burden off the Xbox. This should translate to a more constant frame rate, but only if you meet the required internet speed. More stable and destruction-packed gameplay, more fun. The fourth and final installment in the Souls series, Dark Souls 3 is without doubt gonna be one masochistic game. Get ready to feel satisfying victory over some ridiculously OP bosses. The action is said to be faster and more fluid, with stable frame rates and higher graphical quality. And with the addition of weapon arts and small gravestones, the game just became more RPG-like. Weapon arts are embedded skills that vary from one weapon to another. It enables extra damage and unique movesets. Small gravestones, on the other hand, not only serve as torches, but also provide some added lore to the game. The Legend of Zelda, the game that every Nintendo fan worships. The hype was true, but delays upon delays have frustrated fans. The saying "you can never stay angry at someone you love" holds true for this game. I just hope that 2016 is the year. Mastering the cel-shaded art style from Wind Waker, its outcome looks breathtaking. The gameplay looks smooth and the environment vibrant. To add to this, Shigeru Miyamoto said that the impact of this game will be much like that of the Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64, so be prepared for new revolutionary gameplay elements when it finally comes out. After a decade of waiting, Final Fantasy XV is finally coming out, long after its announcement last 2006 under the name Final Fantasy Versus 13. You can clearly see the growth from the very first trailer they showed 5 years ago to what they demoed in E3 last year. The gameplay is nothing like the classic turn-based style of Final Fantasy games. It aims to be a seamless transition from open-world exploration to action-focused combat. Now, if Square Enix can pair it with a good emotional story that reels in everyone, it's gonna be perfect. Horizon Zero Dawn by Guerrilla Games is one of the scene stealers of E3 2015. The gameplay trailer blew everyone away. It showcased an interesting mix of two opposing elements, nature and technology, and it looked gorgeous. Out with giant transformer-looking robots and used specific combinations of weapons to bring them down. Drawing inspiration from the Elder Scrolls and Assassin's Creed games, the developer announced that they'll be taking a break from multiplayer games. Why, you ask? Maybe to make something as refined and story worthwhile as a AAA single-player game.